up? So did you see the game on Sunday?
Yeah, I seen the game on Sunday, the All-Star game. Yeah. I didn't like Fergie's anthem, like that national anthem thing. Yeah, it wasn't going on.
It was trash, just like
I know,
LeBron's
but-
shoes.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
serious.
look, I ain't even gonna say nothing about that. It's okay. It's okay though. It's fine. Cause Kyrie's shoes suck anyway. So
Nope.
yeah, they do.
But he was out there balling.
But it doesn't matter now, does it? Is
Yes,
that
it do.
No, don't.
Shit, dude.
His shoes suck in general. Nobody likes them. Kevin Durant got like more sales than that boy, so it don't matter. So
Okay, now we both know Kyrie way better.
no, who handles it better, LeBron?
Kyrie.
Or no, it's not. It's not. It's better. It's better than Kyrie. Okay.
What?
Yeah, whatever. Have you heard of Jan Messlinger?
No.
Metzlinger was an inventor best known for patenting the shoe lasting machine, which made footwear more affordable. He was born in 1852. Showing mechanical skills at a young age, began working in machine shops supervised by his father at the age of 10. At 19, he left home to see the world as a sailor on an East Indian merchant ship. In 1873, he settled in Philadelphia and trained as a shoemaker. He learned the cord-weighing trade, which involved crafting shoes almost entirely by hand. Cord-weighers made molds of customers' feet called last, with wood or stone. The shoes were then sized and shaped according to the molds. The process of shaping and attaching the body of the shoe to its sole was done entirely by hand, with hand lasters. This was considered the most difficult and time-consuming stage of the assembly, since the final step in the process was mechanized. The lack of mechanization of the final stage, the lasting, created a significant holdup. He set out to find a solution to the problems he detected in the shoemaking process. He thought there had to be a way to develop an automated method for lasting shoes. He began coming up with designs for machines that could do the job. After experimenting with several models, he applied for a patent on lasting machine. In 1883, he patented a shoe-lasting machine that increased the availability of shoes and decreased the price of footwear. The device held a shoe on a last, pulled the leather down around the heel, set and drove in the nails, and then discharged the completed shoe. It had the capacity to produce about 700 pairs of shoes a day, more than 10 times the amount typically produced by human hands. Messlinger's lasting machine was an immediate success. In 1889, the Consolidated Lasting Machine Company was formed to manufacture the devices, with Messlinger receiving a large amount of stock in the organization. Messlinger's shoe lasting machine increased shoe production tremendously. The result was the employment of more workers and the production of low-cost, high-quality footwear for people around the world. Unfortunately, Messlinger was able to enjoy his success only for a short time. He contracted TB in 1886 and died on August 24, 1889 at the age of 37.
Oh my god, I love your twist. Thanks, my mom did them.
Who did your Afro puff?
I did.
Oh, you did a really good job. Who did your hair?
My mom.
Oh, everybody's mom is a petition. Who did yours? I like your braid.
Thanks, my mom did.
Do you guys know who Madam C.J. Walker is?
No.
Madam C.J. Walker was born Sarah Breedlove. During the 1890s, she developed a scalp disorder that caused her to lose so much of her hair that she began to experiment with both home remedies and store-bought hair care treatments in an attempt to improve her condition. In 1905, she was hired as a commission agent by Annie Turbone Malone, a successful black hair care product entrepreneur, and she moved to Denver, Colorado. While there, her husband Charles helped her create advertisements for the hair care treatment of African Americans that she was perfecting. Her husband also encouraged her to use the more recognizable name Madam C.J. Walker, by which she was therefore known. In 1907, Walker and her husband traveled around the South and Southeast promoting her products and giving lecture demonstrations on her Walker method, involving her own formula of pomade, brushing, and the use of heated combs. In 1908, Walker opened a factory and a beauty school in Pittsburgh, and by 1910, when she transferred her business operations to Indianapolis, the Madam C.J. Walker Manufacturing Company had become wildly successful, with profits that were the modern-day equivalent of several $1 million. In Indianapolis, The company not only manufactures cosmetics, but also trains sales beauticians. These Walker agents became well known throughout the black communities of the United States. In turn, they promoted Walker's philosophy of cleanliness and loveliness as a means of advancing the status of African Americans. She was also an innovator. Walker organized clubs and conventions for her representatives, which recognized not only successful sales but also charitable and educational efforts among African Americans. She donated the largest amount of money by an African American toward the construction of Indianapolis YMCA in 1913. Madam C.J. Walker died of hypertension on May 25, 1919, at the age of 51. At the time of her death, Walker was the sole owner of her business, which valued at more than $1 million. Her personal fortune was estimated between $600,000 and $700,000 today. Walker is widely credited for being one of the first African American women to become a self-made millionaire.
What's your favorite planet?
Jupiter.
Jupiter? I do. Hey, what's your favorite astronaut?
Ronald Reagan.
Mine too. Hey, you guys heard of Ronald McNair?
No.
Ronald Aaron McNair was a physicist and one of the first African American astronauts to go into space. He was also the first black astronaut to die on a space mission. McNair was born on October 21st, 1950 in Lake City, South Carolina. He grew up in Lake City picking cotton and tobacco until he graduated from Carver High School in 1967. McNair attended North Carolina A&T State University, graduating in 1971. In 1976, McNair received his doctorate in philosophy of physics from MIT. Dr. McNair earned his first PhD in laser physics at the age of 26. Following his graduation from MIT, Dr. McNair became a physicist at Hughes Research Laboratory in Malibu, California. NASA selected him as an astronaut candidate in January 1978. As a candidate, he finished a one-year training and evaluation period in August of 1979, making him a competitive applicant as a mission specialist astronaut on a space shuttle flight cruise. Dr. McNair flew his first mission on February 3, 1984. This was the first landing of the Challenger of Kennedy Space Center's runway on February 11, 1984. The flight culminated in Dr. McNair's achieving 191 hours in space. Dr. McNair received many awards, including the following: National Society of Black Professional Engineers Distinguished National Scientist Award, Friend of Freedom, and Who's Among Black Americans. He was presented with an honorary doctorate of law from North Carolina A&T State University in 1978, an honorary doctorate of science from Moores College in 1980, and an honorary doctorate of science from the University of South Carolina in 1984. In addition to his career as a physicist and astronaut, Dr. McNair held a 5th degree black belt in karate and was also an accomplished jazz saxophonist. In 1986, Dr. McNair was given a mission specialist position in STS-51L. 1 minute and 53 seconds after liftoff from the Kennedy Space Center, Florida, the Challenger exploded, killing Dr. McNair and all the crew on board.
There is no future for a people who deny their past. My foreparents, my grandparents, my mother, and my father did not suffer and die to give me an education to slight, oppress, or discourage my people. Whatsoever education I acquired out of my sacrifice over the 300 years, I shall use for the salvation of the 4 million black people of the world. And the day when I forsake my people, may God Almighty say, there shall be no more life for you.